What should Tacopina be doing now? He should be burying the prosecutor, the district attorney, with motions with two goals. One is to extract as much information out of the DA as he can, as much evidence as he can. What's in your file? Who else did you interview? Did you interview people that you didn't bring before the grand jury? We want to know who they are so we can interview them. How did you decide who went to the grand jury? What other evidence do you have? You get all this information out of the government by filing the correct strategic motions and getting the judge to order this. The other reason you want to file a lot of motions now is to force the judge to make rulings. You want the judge to make many, many rulings because you're hoping he'll make a mistake. Obviously, you want him to rule in your favor. But when the judge makes a mistake, not talking about a jury now, we're nowhere near the jury trial. We're in the earliest stages of this litigation. So it'll just be justice, as they call them in New York, Merchan in the courtroom, the prosecutors, Trump and Trump's lawyers. And by the way, the judge ruled yesterday that whenever the case comes into the courtroom, Trump has to be there. I guess we're going to go through this $250,000 police overtime expense every time they bring him into the city, but that's the city's determination. These motions will be argued without a jury there. You want to file as many motions as possible to get as much information out of the government as you can and to force the judge to make as many rulings as you can, because the more rulings he makes, the greater chance are there will be error. And when there's error in judicial rulings, and if you lose the case, there's your basis for appeal. While all of this was going on yesterday, the United States Court of Appeals for the District of Columbia Circuit, that's the court in Washington, D.C., right below the Supreme Court, D.C. Circuit Court, ruled 3-0 that Mark Meadows and Donald Trump's other senior White House staff must testify against the president before a grand jury about what he knew and what he said in the days and weeks and hours leading up to whatever happened at the Capitol building on January 6th. This is a significant setback for the former president. It was pretty much buried in the news because of all of the news concentration on the arraignment in Lower Manhattan. So what does this mean? This means that the grand jury, Jack Smith, the one that Trump has harshly criticized, the special counsel investigating him, is still presenting evidence to the grand jury on January 6th. We believe he has finished presenting evidence to the grand jury on the Mar-a-Lago documents case. We also believe that the DA in Atlanta, Georgia, is finished presenting evidence to her grand jury on the tampering with the election case. Those are the three indictments that we're waiting for. The cases are stronger and potentially more lethal to Donald Trump's freedom. January 6th, Mar-a-Lago, and Atlanta, Georgia.